When you look around at the majority of people, you'll notice that most are drifting without any clear purpose, chasing distractions, influenced by circumstances, and settling for whatever life hands them. That is the very reason so few reach the top 1%. Napoleon Hill's philosophy begins with one of the most powerful truths you will ever encounter: definiteness of purpose. It's not enough to simply wish for success. It's not enough to say, "I want to be rich," or "I want to be successful." Those are vague desires, and vague desires lead to vague results. Definiteness of purpose means you decide, with crystal clarity, exactly what you want out of life. It means you sit down with yourself, strip away the noise of the world, and answer the deepest question: what am I truly here for? Until you know that, you will always wander. The top 1% are not luckier than others. They are not simply gifted with extraordinary abilities. What separates them is that they know where they are going. Think of definiteness of purpose like a compass. If you are sailing without a compass, the winds of distraction and the storms of failure will push you anywhere, and you'll never arrive where you want. But if you fix your compass, if you decide, "This is the goal I will achieve," then, no matter what storms come, you adjust your sails and keep moving forward. This is why definiteness of purpose is the foundation of all success. Napoleon Hill taught that the moment you fix a definite chief aim in your mind, you activate a power that pulls opportunities, people, and ideas toward you. The subconscious mind begins working like a magnet, aligning your thoughts, actions, and even circumstances with that one goal. Without it, you may work hard, but your energy will be scattered. You may chase a dozen different things, but none will bear fruit because you are divided. With it, every action, every thought, and every choice has meaning, because all roads lead to the same destination. But definiteness of purpose is not passive. It's not just saying, "I want to be successful." It's writing down the exact vision. How much money do you want? What kind of business do you want to build? What kind of person do you want to become? Where do you want to live? What impact do you want to leave? The clearer you get, the stronger your compass. If you say, "I want to earn $1 million by building a business that improves people's health," your mind and energy will lock on that. You'll begin to see opportunities that others miss. You'll feel driven where others feel bored. You'll persist where others quit. That clarity alone puts you above 99% of people who only wish vaguely and drift endlessly. Once you know what you want, you must tie it with burning desire. Here lies the true fuel of greatness. A definite purpose without desire is like a car without fuel. It looks good, but it won't move. Burning desire is the fire that transforms a dream into a living reality. Napoleon Hill said that desire backed with faith is the starting point of all achievement. Most people have weak wishes. They say, "I would like to have more money," but they don't truly burn for it. They say, "I want to be healthy," but they don't crave it enough to sacrifice comfort. They say, "I want freedom," but their desire is not hot enough to make them fight for it. That's why they fail. The top 1% carry a different level of hunger. Their goals are not casual wants. They are obsessions. Burning desire is when your goal becomes a consuming thought, when it occupies your mind day and night, when you feel restless until you take action. It is when setbacks don't discourage you because your inner fire cannot be extinguished. It is when people laugh at your dreams, and instead of shrinking, your desire only grows stronger. Burning desire makes failure fuel you instead of defeat you. If definiteness of purpose is the compass, burning desire is the fire that makes you move no matter what. So the journey to the top 1% begins with a question: what is my definite purpose? Until you answer that, you are drifting. Once you answer it, you must ask, do I want it with every cell of my being? Am I willing to trade comfort for greatness? Am I willing to sacrifice evenings of pleasure for years of achievement? Am I willing to fail 100 times and keep coming back? If the answer is yes, then you have combined definiteness of purpose with burning desire, and you hold the same keys that every top achiever in history held. These two principles are not intellectual ideas. They are forces of transformation. If you fix a definite purpose in your mind and back it with burning desire, you ignite a chain reaction inside you. Your thoughts begin to align. Your emotions intensify. Your subconscious works day and night, and life begins to move in your favor. You stop being a drifter and become a creator. You stop being one of the many and become one of the few. That is how you step into the top 1%. Faith is the invisible force that shapes the visible world. Napoleon Hill placed tremendous emphasis on faith because he knew it was the link between desire and achievement. Without faith, your desires are like seeds thrown on barren land. They will never grow. But when faith is present, every desire becomes possible, no matter how impossible it looks to the world. Faith is not a vague hope. It is a state of absolute belief that your goal will happen, even when you have no evidence in front of you. It is convincing your subconscious mind that success is inevitable, so that your thoughts, emotions, and actions all align with that reality. The top 1% live in this state of belief. They believe in their purpose with such intensity that it becomes part of their identity. Think about this. Every person who achieved something extraordinary once had no evidence. When Thomas Edison was experimenting with the light bulb, failure after failure, there was no proof he would succeed. When entrepreneurs build businesses, when inventors create breakthroughs, when leaders rise against impossible odds, at the beginning there is no guarantee. The only thing they hold on to is faith. Faith that their vision is real before it manifests. Napoleon Hill taught that faith can be developed by affirmations and repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. If you keep telling yourself, with emotion and certainty, that you will achieve your definite purpose, eventually your subconscious will accept it as truth. And once your subconscious accepts it, your entire being will act as if it is already yours. That's why Hill urged readers to write down their goals, repeat them daily, visualize them, and speak them as if they were already accomplished. This practice plants faith. Most people sabotage themselves with the opposite: doubt and fear. They desire success, but their inner voice says, "What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if people laugh?" These doubts kill the seed before it grows. Faith is the antidote. Faith says, "It is mine already. It's only a matter of time. I cannot be stopped." With that mindset, your energy shifts. You walk differently, you talk differently, and opportunities open because people can feel your conviction. Faith makes you magnetic. But faith without knowledge and skill is incomplete. That's why Napoleon Hill introduced the importance of specialized knowledge. General knowledge is everywhere, in schools, in books, online. But general knowledge does not create wealth or power. Specialized knowledge does. The top 1% know something deeply that most people don't, and they use it to create massive value. Think of it like this. A general doctor may earn a good income, but a heart surgeon with specialized knowledge earns far more because their expertise solves a unique high-value problem. The same applies in business, technology, art, or any field. The masses consume general knowledge, but the elite focus, master, and refine their skills until they become irreplaceable. Specialized knowledge doesn't mean you need a degree. It means you know your field so deeply that you can see opportunities others overlook. Napoleon Hill warned that formal education does not guarantee success. He said many educated people remain poor because they never learn to organize and apply knowledge in practical ways. Specialized knowledge must be combined with imagination, creativity, and action to generate results. If you study endlessly but never apply, you will remain stuck. If you learn specifically what your dream requires and then act with faith, you will rise above the competition. This is why the top 1% are lifelong learners. They don't stop at what school gave them. They read, they study, they attend seminars, they seek mentors, and they constantly sharpen their edge. But they are not random learners. They are purposeful. They know their definite aim, and they acquire knowledge that serves that purpose. If their goal is to build wealth through investing, they learn deeply about finance, markets, and strategies. If their goal is to create breakthroughs in technology, they master coding, design, and innovation. They go deep, not wide. Faith and specialized knowledge together are unstoppable. Faith gives you the courage to act before the evidence, while specialized knowledge gives you the tools to make it real. Imagine a person with burning desire but no knowledge. They may try, but they will stumble endlessly. Now imagine someone with deep knowledge, but no faith. They may have skill, but they'll hesitate, procrastinate, and never risk enough to succeed. The combination of faith and specialized knowledge is what transforms dreams into reality. Think about the entrepreneurs who changed industries. They believed when no one else did. That's faith. They also mastered their craft or surrounded themselves with experts. That's specialized knowledge. Together, they built empires. This is the formula Napoleon Hill revealed. Fix your definite purpose, fuel it with desire, build unshakable faith, and back it with specialized knowledge. That is how you rise into the top 1%. But here is the key. Faith must be practiced, and knowledge must be applied. Faith grows by affirmations, visualization, surrounding yourself with believers, and eliminating negative influences. Knowledge grows by study, mentorship, and real-world practice. If you commit to both daily, even in small steps, you will see transformation over time. The average person drifts because they lack belief, and they rely only on surface-level knowledge. They know a little bit about many things, but they don't believe enough to take risks, so they remain average. You must be different. You must decide, I will cultivate iron faith. I will master my craft. I will not dabble. I will dominate. When that decision becomes part of you, your journey to the top 1% accelerates. Napoleon Hill made it clear. Riches do not respond to wishes. They respond to definite plans backed by faith and specialized knowledge. So the real question is, what do you believe without doubt? And what knowledge are you mastering that will turn belief into results? If you can answer those two questions honestly and act on them daily, you hold the same tools that have built every fortune and every legacy in history. Imagination is the workshop of the mind, the place where all plans, inventions, and wealth are born. Napoleon Hill called imagination the most powerful creative force given to man, because everything we see around us was once only a thought. The chair you sit on, the phone in your hand. But imagination alone is not enough. An idea in your head means nothing without organized planning. Too many people have dreams, but never build a plan. They imagine success, but never create the step-by-step structure that turns imagination into reality. Organized planning is the bridge between the dream and its fulfillment. It is where the top 1% separate themselves from dreamers. Napoleon Hill was clear. Every success begins with an idea, but ideas must be crystallized into definite plans and then acted upon immediately. The majority fail because they either never plan or they keep planning forever without acting. They wait for the perfect plan, which never arrives, and so they drift in a cycle of preparation without progress. The top 1% understand that plans can and should be adjusted, but action must never be delayed. They create the best plan they can with what they know, then they act. As they move, they adjust, refine, and improve. Organized planning means you don't leave your success to chance. You sit down with your definite purpose. You break it into smaller goals. You assign timelines. You gather resources, and you map out the steps. If you want to build a business, you don't just wish for it. You plan the product, the market, the finances, the team, and the execution strategy. If you want wealth, you plan your savings, your investments, your education, and your growth path. Planning gives direction to your imagination, structure to your energy, and clarity to your actions. Napoleon Hill also emphasized the importance of the mastermind in planning. No one rises to the top alone. Organized planning often requires assembling a group of people who share your vision and contribute their knowledge, skills, and encouragement. Many great achievers succeed not because they know everything, but because they organize people who know what they don't. The top 1. Leverage the power of collaboration in their plans, while the average person tries to do everything alone and burns out. Think of imagination and planning like two sides of a coin. Imagination gives you vision, planning gives you execution. Imagination opens your mind to possibilities. Planning grounds those possibilities into a road you can walk. If you have imagination without planning, you will dream endlessly but remain stuck. If you plan without imagination, your plans will be rigid, lifeless, and uninspired. Together, they make you unstoppable. Consider any major invention or company. It began in imagination. Someone pictured a future that didn't exist. Then came the plan. Step by step, they built it, adjusting as they went, never losing sight of the vision. This is how progress is made, wealth is built, and legacies are created. The danger for most people is they underestimate both. They think imagination is childish, so they only follow routines and never innovate. Or they think planning is boring, so they live in dreams without execution. To rise into the top 1%, you must value both equally. You must spend time daily imagining your future, asking, what can I create? What do I see that others can't? And then you must immediately turn that vision into a plan. What steps will I take today, tomorrow, this week, this year? Napoleon Hill also warned that temporary defeat often reveals the weakness of your plans, not your purpose. When a plan fails, it doesn't mean your goal is impossible. It means the plan needs adjustment. The masses quit when plans fail. The elite adapt. They rewrite, reorganize, and try again until the plan works. This resilience is why they succeed. Imagination gives you wings. Organized planning gives you a map. With both, you cannot remain ordinary. You will see visions others can't, and you will know how to bring them to life whilst the others only talk. This combination makes you dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to mediocrity, to limitations, to the excuses that hold most people down.